Officially, good morning and welcome everyone to the Options Income Launchpad Tuesday opening bell. My name is Scott. I will be your host. As always, let me remind you that what we do is for education and illustrative purposes only. Nothing we do or say should be considered or intended as a recommendation to buy or sell any security, financial product. We're not brokers or advisors. Therefore, do not give personalized investment advice. Decisions you make should be done so at your own risk. Yada, yada, yada. Okay, let's get to it. Let's just jump in. What do we know? Market's open, flat, marginally higher. S&P up 0.09, Dow 0.04, NASDAQ 0.15, Russell 0.10. So everything's up. VIX is down a little bit. We'll go look at that today. Gold up a little bit. Bitcoin still sitting underneath 70,000. Bitcoin resumes slides, sinks below 69. I mean, you know, as much as the market has become more mainstream, at the end of the day, you know, when you buy or sell a stock, it's based on the fact that you own a piece of that company until you know, if you die, you can give it to somebody else. You own a piece of that company. As long as that company exists, you're entitled to distributions of their earnings and voting on, right? Like that's options and futures are just contracts that allow you to speculate on the direction of owning something. Shorting is borrowing something from someone who owned it so you could sell it and then you have to buy it, right? So there's everything orients around that. And then when you look at Bitcoin and then you look at, I don't even know what the number is. This is if you're a participant, this is what you should be thinking about. I'm going to ask ChatGPT while we're talking here on my phone. As of, we'll just say 02/01/26. I asked, how many cryptocurrencies are there as of February 1st of this year? Anybody want to guess? This is this morning's quiz. See who's closest. How many? Oh, there's wildly different active tracked coins versus everyone ever created. We're going to go active. Kent said 1,500. Anybody else want to give it a guess? If nobody else guesses, Kent wins. Guys are quiet today. 2,000. Oh, Mike went just a little higher, like the Showcase Showdown. Presently, there are around 10,000 active cryptocurrencies in circulation. Some estimates put it closer to 17 to 19,000 active projects. So, then the question is, for what? What do they do? Someone just like builds this like digital code and we all should just think it should be worth more? As of now, for me, really, like it's about like being transactional, like it could process payments, like, you know, that's worth 2.5%, 2%, like a credit card, right? It's, I hear it's pretty good for things like it could be used for medical records. I've actually heard of there being potentially, instead of issuing stock, you issue coin as representation of company ownership, because an initial coin offering is much faster than an initial stock offering. But when you think about it, it's like, what exactly are you buying? Anyways, it does trade. So if it's trending up, you're buying something uptrending. But if you're thinking about like, what's the long-term value proposition here that would make a Bitcoin worth $500,000? What would make that worth that when it wasn't worth that when it was worth $1? Besides demand, they can be used as currency. Agreed. Yeah, which is transactional, like a dollar, right? And maybe its value relative to other currencies fluctuates, and it moves into the the currency market and trades against dollars and euros and yens and pounds and whatever, right? But you know, imagine someone's like, I'm going to buy this dollar bill. I'm just going to hold on to it and see if it just becomes way more valuable. It's just a dollar bill. Anyway, so when I see it come down, I always think to myself, yeah, that's what was getting it up there anyways. We're distracted. Retail sales, unexpected. I'll tell you what. Look at the NFT market. Look at the NFT market. Some of you may not know what that is. Non-fungible tokens, NFTs. They're basically just like digital images. They're like, well, there can only be one. Well, like, yeah, but I can. People were buying these little like cartoon apes. That was a popular one. Cartoon apes, and they're like $1,000. You're like, why? Why would somebody else want this stupid cartoon ape a year from now? They don't, by the way. All those $1,000 apes are now worth. I have to do it. NFT ape value. Yeah. Once valued at $1 million, celebrity-owned apes now sell for $12,000, and that's for like celebrity-owned ones. 99% of its value. Bored ape. Anyways, okay. 99% value. I'm sure they'll go back up because someday soon there's going to be a huge demand for a digital cartoon ape. I mean, think about that. You could just have AI just be like, hey, make me a bunch of NFT. I mean, they do, literally. Okay, let's go look at the market, you guys. Today's economic calendar. Let's see. Where'd my charts go? Yep, new trade on Micron. The spread, and not loving today's start. Oh, sorry. I don't even know how I bump it sometimes. Thank you for letting me know. Good morning, Stephen D. Peter was fast. 410 by 420. There's support. We're going to give it some time. Even if it goes a little lower today, I'm going to give it till the end of the day. Because at the end of the day, if it looks like this, that's a hammer, which is exactly what I would expect to see. Now, of course, that hammer would be there. No, it would be here. Whoop. So if I end up with a hammer today, sure, looks fine. Don't get impatient. What else do we have? We have this one. We got in, had a decent start, dropped a little today, but coming back a little bit. Stochastics looks okay still. So, yeah, same thing. Give it a little time. Give it a little bit of little wiggle room before we get to panicking here. Okay. Let's go look at the market. Flat at resistance. I've put a couple of trades on because they met my rules, but I'm not looking to be aggressive in this market. That's if you missed this Sunday, market posture session, as we were going through the market and just a quick review. I dropped a point. The Oracle dropped half a point. I'm at a 2.5. Kind of sitting between neutral and slightly bullish. The Oracle's sitting between slightly bullish and bullish. But I have a 2-point regression over the last 4 weeks. 2.25 over the last 5. The Oracle's only down a point. Either way, it's certainly a market that's at least showing some concern. So then what? Great, we trade with some concern. We take a little less risk. We tighten stops a little sooner. We take profits. We take losses more willingly in this market. Like if trade starts to go, then I'm more prone to shut a trade down and take the loss. I am starting to think, is there anything that might start to fall hard in this market if it continues? If we move into a corrective type market, where would a corrective market be? 697.84. I always like to have kind of a sense when I start to get a market 1, 2, 3, right? You can see this thing is turned a little sideways. It's been moving up. I'm going to take 697.84 times 0.9. That puts me around 628. That's good enough. So if we had a true correction, 628. That's 10%. So you can see if that were to happen, that would have to be like we fall, we recover, we fall, we recover. Yeah, 10%. Maybe it's even right, but that's if we ever, in a correction. A correction in a bull market. Let's take one more look at one more thing. Oh, we didn't even mention this. You guys, The long shadow is gone finally. Anyways, I put a comment in and boom. No, I didn't put a comment. So you can see, we had, this one was 1, 2, 3. I think that was close to a correction type thing. And then we had a market move up, and then it kind of turned into this. This one lasted about a year, and then we had this. And then now we've been going for not quite a year. A year would be out here. But it does kind of seem to be moving into a sideways position. So, if we had a correction down to 628, that's pretty close. Wouldn't even be that surprising. And this would still be contextually a overall bullish market on the long term. You might be thinking, Scott, are you predicting that? Not at all. Of course, what I'm saying is at any given time, we should know when we're in a situation that's more prone. The posture's dropped. Our posture's at a 2.5. We see this on the market. It's just simply saying, look, what are we prepared for, and how will we capitalize on it? Is the Dow up that much? Yeah, it's doing pretty well, isn't it? The Dow is up 0.65%, while the Russell is flat, down 0.04. And the S&P is up 0.1, and the NASDAQ is down 0.02. So flat, up 0.65. Which one's up 0.65? The one that we tend to see as more defensive, more of a safe harbor. Let's look at the VIX for a second. How's everybody feeling about this? Okay. The VIX. In a word, describe the VIX. That's always the challenge. In a word, describe the VIX. Did I look at making any changes to the AI rules? No. I think, we looked at, I know I talked about, which one was it? I think it was volume. No, we actually did volume mid thing. I think I'm going to leave it as is. Okay. Anybody for the VIX? What do we see here on this VIX? Up and more erratic. Sam said forwards. I'll take 4. 5 or less. That's acceptable. Up and more erratic. Yeah. It's escalating. It's becoming more volatile. It's not just like going up. What he's saying is this is going up. This is getting more erratic. Right? So going up, what we're doing now. It's concerning because we just got to a new higher high right here. And now as we have that higher high, this is our prior low. What's going on? Well, it's really slowing down quickly right now. And it's doing so at what would be another higher high. And if we see another spike, obviously our concern lies. Now, where did those spike from? Right? So you can kind of see this one was a little bit more of a had a little bit of a transition. But that's kind of what we're actually seeing right now. This is kind of going on in the same way where it's like, yeah, if this thing starts to shoot 28 in one fell swoop is absolutely in a possibility. Where is all the fear? Well, right now it's ebbed a little bit. We are sitting at 17. But what we're saying is the fear is we see it mounting in a way that's representative of institutions. And this fear can't be seen any other way. So this is where we see the institutional fear building. Not yet. I mean, look, this thing could... Let me drop it. This could very easily accelerate tomorrow. And then again, and then all of a sudden it's down here. We're not making a judgment on this yet. But I am saying I have a really big candle. And then a less big candle. And then a small candle. And oftentimes when we see things like that, we know that these could be followed by a white candle instead of a red candle. And seeing that, is a bit concerning. Based on how we score, right? So if at the end of the week, this thing is turned like this and then started to turn up, that will earn it a minus 0.25. And I'll tell you this, I don't even know if it would be a hedge because I have few enough trades that I would probably be exiting those trades or already out of those trades. But this is where we would say we would potentially look for speculative bearish trades. Because if this thing accelerates, and it could just be on the SPY, puts on the SPY like a hedge, but it's not a hedge, it's a speculative trade. It can't be a hedge if you don't have bullish trades to protect. That's not a hedge. That's just bearish. You're just bearish, which is fine. But this is probably what I think is the most important thing developing this week. Starting today. All right, let's go through and look at things. And there's, you can see Alcoa still just grinding it out inside of this little range. Apple. Actually, I like Apple quite a lot. It's the last time it did this and turned out of it, it had a nice little pop. So I'm looking at this as a flag right now. I would say at least 290 for the target. So it just depends on how quickly you can catch it. Ideally, I'd like to see it even just kind of pull on back and catch a true bounce so I could get one of these right there. That would be fantastic. But let's just watch. That's certainly Apple's a market mover. That's 11% of the Nasdaq. That's 6% of the S&P. Right? It's one of the most influential. So to see that showing strength is certainly helpful to the overall market. ADM, it's kind of chopping around still post earnings. Applied Materials started to go and then just paused. That's kind of the chip story right now we're seeing. AMKR reported earnings. Moving around a little bit. Overall, did better than expected. Must have maybe a slight bit of disappointment in its guidance. Amazon is way down there. APH. That's a pretty good comeback. That's a nice little V comeback, but I still would need to wait and see the next selling cycle. ASX a little overextended. AXP back in business. Boom. That's all I need right there. If it slows down, pulls back, high or low, and back into hopefully another trending situation. AXP maybe soon. BABA, slow mover. Bank of America hitting some resistance. BCS kind of chopping around after earnings. Bud chopping around before earnings. No, it's just barely pausing. This thing's been on a tear. A lot of beer getting drunk apparently in the country. Congratulations, everyone. Citi. Yeah, I mean it's kind of big candle, smaller candle, little candle, right at resistance. If you're still in it, be thinking, what am I looking for here? It's gotten a good piece. I believe it actually got everything it was asking for. 126. Ooh, I got close. 125. Got close. So you got to decide, do you think it's going to get the extra dollar? Is it worth it to stay in? Do you take 124 and call it a day? Caterpillar overextended. CF. I got to tell you, it's kind of looking iffy. Cisco looks strong. Earnings are, that was a pre-earnings bump. Earnings are tomorrow after market. Delta. Sideways. Dow. The Dow is still pushing. 0.72. It's at its highs. Dow Chemical. Basic materials still look all right. Ford, I bailed yesterday. Very small loss. GE, no. Gold is kind of choppy. General Motors. Ooh, I'll take General Motors, I think, if it holds the 50, if it doesn't come all the way back. So if it like dojis tomorrow and then turns, I would say that's viable. Google still viable. Got close. Still here. Same thing. All I need is just a turn, and I'll be looking for it. Just, this kind of a little turn type thing. Am I missing any trades? Is anyone day trading today? It feels like it's a slow. I'm going to pause for a second. Oh, Goldman's looking pretty good. It feels like a slow day. Kind of dropped and then bam. Okay, so we broke the opening range to the upside. But you can see that once it did that, it's already slowing down. John, for me, I'll tell you, my core direction as of now, intraday, is more bullish than bearish because we broke the opening range. Now that it's pausing, the thought is this pulls back to the first good setup, right? So I wouldn't bet against the buyers here. I would say let's see what the sellers do. We'll see if this thing just kind of plays around a little bit. Okay. Shorting GLW. Corning. GLW. Ooh, it is overextended. So a counter momentum trade. You're saying that's it. That's the top. Now, I want you to notice that it's had a couple of times where it's like, okay, and then quickly went the other way. And it's like, okay, and then quickly went the other way. So if this thing drops for a couple reds, be thinking, at what point do I start to say, hey, I don't want one of those to shoot it up out of there, potentially. Probably a stop right above here somewhere, maybe just a little outside. And you know, with something like this, you're like thinking, hey, I hope this thing drops to 110. But as it starts dropping, be thinking, when do I tighten my stops? Love it. Thank you for sharing that with us. Where were we? Goldman, Home Depot. Kind of flat. Silver mining. I mean, it looks like it could try to bounce. You can see it's just kind of hovering around a little bit. It's not really catching anything. You got earnings soon. IBM, flat. Intel is chopping around a little bit still. IVZ. Nothing's really moving. Now look at small caps, up 0.23. So the whole market trying to catch a little bit more of a bullish flavor. Not Lumentum. Lumentum's down a little bit, as is Lam Research, LRCX. MasterCard. Oh, MasterCard is trying to regain some ground. Meta. Ooh, did anyone trade Meta yesterday? Meta's trying to catch a little bounce here. That's a maybe. Monster. Kind of sideways. The options aren't great anyways. Morgan Stanley. Kind of sideways. Microsoft trying to catch a little bit. After hitting the bottom. Only one way to go. Micron. Okay, so Micron looked a little nastier this morning at the beginning. It's regaining some ground. As we said, don't get impatient. Don't let the red distract you. It's already turned into the now. Again, when we first looked at it, we were 15 minutes in. Now we're 45 minutes in. Still a lot of daytime left in this market. A lot of open hours. But that is more of what the doji, or excuse me, the hammer pattern would look like. I mean, this thing could end up here by the end of the day for all we know. Wouldn't that be fantastic? Okay, Micron. Netflix. Oh, this may be the first attempt. Oh, maybe this is the one. And you'll notice back here it tried and then it got all the way back down. If it takes out the low, then that's off. It tried here and then it takes out the low and that's off. Just keeps dropping. So eventually it's going to do this and then it's going to pull back and it's not going to go take out that low. And it's going to give you this little thing and you're thinking that's when maybe this thing is back into a manageable, tradable situation. New. Back in line, back what it's supposed to do. A little hiccup in the morning. We're fine. We're fine. NVIDIA got the V. I mean, it V'd right back up. So I guess if it does something like this, I'd probably be like, all right, let's give it a shot. Though you don't have a lot of time before earnings. Palantir. Still down. The Qs looks okay. Up 0.4. Rocket Lab. It's just not doing much now. Rostors overextended. RTX pulling back. Silver. What do you guys think? Silver, gold done on their drop or more downside to go? SNDK. Yeah. This is they will be back. I kind of feel like that may be true. This SNDK is interesting. I mean, it just was at 725. It's at 567. And it's certainly one that you wouldn't want to bet against the way that it's been moving. That could be setting up. Here is SPY. Okay, so you can see it pushed. Now the sellers are trying to come in. They're testing. STX is in a coming off of new highs, bit of a consolidation. SYY, new high. Well, I'll tell you, this thing smashed earnings and it just won't stop. That's interesting. TJX. Ooh, Tesla. I'm starting to think about some of these that are now under their 50s and they're coming up here, and if they fail and roll over, what's next? What is that, around 350, 354-ish or so? That could be a pretty nasty one. Yeah, okay. As I said, as my market posture drops down to a 2.5, I don't see anything this week. It's Tuesday. We're not pushing for higher scores as we watch the Dow lead. A little recovery. We'll see what happens. We're not going to prejudge. TSM. Well, I'll tell you, we were looking for one there, and then it just popped. Got it. Viking made the move. It was choppy, but it got there. VOD chopping around, Vodafone Group. WDC chopping around a little bit. And of course, Walmart. Is there time for Walmart to pull back and give another trading opportunity? Hard to know. Okay, so any questions about any trades that were in? New is one that we're in. It's, I believe new is from here. And so let me see where new is. I think new is still making a little bit. Yeah, a little bit profitable on new. We're on the trajectory, so the stochastics is just barely crossed. There should be plenty of upside here. And of course, Micron is new yesterday, a bull call spread. Let's see where the initial stop. I can't remember now. Stop-ish, somewhere around 364. Somewhere down in this low area. I mean, you can see today we got down at 366. Even if I hit 364, I'm not going to stop out in the beginning of the day. It's not a hard stop right now. It's more of a end of day stop. So the good time to get in. Yeah. Yes. I would say absolutely. Questions, comments, any trades we're missing? Okay. Well, that's it. Oh, I will. Glenn will be coming in to fill in for me tomorrow. So I had something come up that I had to attend to. So yes. Great. It's great to see everybody. Oh, look at that. We're almost positive on Micron now. So it's good to see everybody. I will see you guys tonight. Next feeling good, John. Actually, I go in Thursday for my 3-month checkup. I can't believe it's almost been that long. And I'm hopefully going to start PT soon. So I appreciate you asking. Yeah. All right. Everyone have a great rest of your day. I will see you guys tonight. As always, happy trading.